Vikings' journey of conquest and settlement, not only is it full of thrills, it's more like a drama. Adventure story with a twist. Viking is no longer content with brief abstractions. They decided to take root on European soil, became a force to be reckoned with on this continent. The story in France is like a wonderful epic. Imagine that. The Scarf leader at that time fell. It's a scary character. He brought a group of the invincible Scarf warrior on the battlefield. Frequent attacks on northern France. It kept the local kings and nobles up at night. So in 911 AD, King Charles III of the Franks gritted his teeth, decided to reach an agreement with Rollo. This is not just an armistice. Charles III took the land in Normandy directly, gave it to the Scarf man. The condition is, Rollo and his soldiers are going to help guard this area, land defend against other intruders. In this way, the former robbers have been transformed, become a legal landlord, but Vikings are not immutable savages. They quickly adapted to the local life. Also learned a lot from Frankish culture. The Vikings of Normandy came to be known as the Normans, their descendants. Not only did it preserve the fighting spirit of the Vikings, it has also become the most significant in European history. Powerful military might won. The Normans later not only conquered England, it also entered Italy and the Middle East. Duchy of Normandy, it became the Middle Ages. One of the most important powers in Europe. This legend from pirate to duke, I can't help but sigh. The adaptability and ingenuity of the Vikings. The story of the Vikings was not limited to Western Europe. Their ambition and adventurous spirit let them set foot on the farther lands of Eastern Europe. They followed the Volga River and Dnieper and became the Rus in the eyes of the locals. These Scarf people are not just passers-by. They were actual settlers. They are in Russia today, and Ukraine established Kiev, Duchy of Rus. This male, the country later became a key figure in the history of Eastern Europe. Suffering Scarf, people are not just warriors and rulers here, also became a busy business person. Established an extensive trade network. The trade routes of the Rus connected northern Europe. Byzantine and the world of the East, they brought silk, spice gems, and other precious commodities. This trade network not only did Viking become wealthy, also let Kievan Rus. It became an important trading center in Eastern Europe at that time. Arrival of the Vikings, bringing new vitality to the region, their culture, integration with the local Slavic culture, formed a unique Rus culture this period. Viking through conquest and settlement, transformed the course of history in Eastern Europe, laying the foundation for a future Russia in England. The story of the Vikings is even more tumultuous. They are no longer content with looting. It's hope. In this fertile land, build your own kingdom. Out 6-5 years, a massive army of Scarves landed in England. Began a decades-long war of conquest. This war is not just about wealth, more for dominion and land. Finally, Vikings succeeded in parts of England, established a long reign. This region is known as the Danish Quarter. In the Danish Quarter, Viking was not as brutal as the legend, relentlessly. They gradually integrated with the local population, established a stable social structure. The laws of Viking rule over England. Language and culture had a profound impact. Many place names and words in modern English. Even some legal systems all date back to the time of the Vikings. Although the Vikings ruled, it was eventually recaptured by the Kingdom of England. But the cultural imprint they left behind cannot be erased. Vikings are not just marauders. They were builders and rulers. They are not only in the settlement, established a stable regime, it is also deeply integrated with the local culture. The Vikings' success was not limited to the battlefield. It is more reflected in their culture. Adaptability and creativity, whether in Normandy, Kievan Rus still in England, Scarf people do it in their own unique way, transformed the local social structure and cultural traditions. From the sea to the rulers of continental Europe, Scarf people through conquest and settlement demonstrated their intelligence and adaptability. They not only bring destruction, it also brings new opportunities and changes. The story of the Vikings goes far beyond robbery and battle. They also contribute to the history of medieval Europe, added a wealth of color through their settlement and integration. Viking not only conquered the land, but also conquered the history of Europe. became a part of the era that cannot be ignored. If you love this dive into the past, hit that like button, subscribe for more epic histories.